Hey, language learners! Welcome back to Learn English with Context. Ever felt that little nod of panic when someone asks you for directions? Or worse, when you desperately need them yourself, but struggle to explain where you want to go? You're not alone. Today, we're tackling that super common situation, asking for and giving directions in English. We've got a real-life chat between a tourist, James, and a local, Anna, and we're going to break down some really useful phrases and point out those common mistakes that trip us up. Get ready to improve your English and navigate with confidence. Let's jump right in.
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the train station?
This is such a handy phrase to have in your pocket. When you need to find your way somewhere, starting with, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to a place?" is always polite and clear. You can use it for anything. Maybe you need to find the nearest bus stop or the museum. It's a go-to for getting around.
Yes, yes. You go straightly, then you see two roads in left, you go the second road.
Our local friend, Anna, is doing their best to help, but there are a few little slips that are pretty common. First off, Anna said straightly. When you're talking about going forward, you just say straight. So, you go straight. Then she mentioned two roads in left. For directions like this, we usually say two roads on your left, or sometimes two left turns. And instead of you go the second road, a more natural way to phrase it would be take the second road, or even take the second turn. So, if we put that all together, our Anna could have said, yes, go straight, then you'll see two roads on your left. Take the second road. Sounds much smoother, right?
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the train station?
Yes, go straight, then you'll see two roads on your left. Take the second road.
Sorry, did you say turn left?
This is another brilliant phrase to remember. If you didn't quite catch what someone said, or you just want to double check, you can always say, sorry, did you say? Then just repeat what you thought you heard. For example, sorry, did you say 3 p.m.? Or, sorry, did you say his name was John? It's perfect for when you need clarification or confirmation.
Yes, in the left after big supermarket.
Just a quick fix here. Instead of in the left, we typically say on the left. We use on when we're talking about directions like on the left or on the right. Also, notice our local said after big supermarket. When you're talking about a specific place like the big supermarket, even if you haven't mentioned it before, it's often understood that there's only one big supermarket in that immediate area that the tourist might see. So, we add the before it to show we're talking about a specific, identifiable one. So, a small change makes a big difference. Yes, on the left, after the big supermarket.
Sorry, did you say turn left?
Yes, on the left after the big supermarket.
Got it. Is it far from here?
Our tourist, James, uses two really useful everyday expressions here. First, got it. This is a super casual and common way to say, I understand, or I understand what you mean. It's quick and effective. Then, far from a place. This simply means a long distance away from that place. So when the tourist asks, is it far from here? They're wondering, is the train station a long distance from where we are right now?
Not far a lot. Maybe 15-minute by walk.
Let's polish up these phrases a bit. instead of not far a lot. A more natural way to say this is not too far or not very far. And for 15-minute by walk, we'd usually say 15 minutes. Notice that we are making minute plural. And replace by walk by foot, or a 15-minute walk. You might notice that minute is singular here, even though it's 15. That's because 15-minute is acting like one adjective describing the walk. It's like saying a 2-story building or a $5 bill. The number and unit become a single descriptive word. So, Anna could have said, not too far. Maybe 15 minutes by foot, or even simpler, maybe a 15-minute walk.
Got it. Is it far from here?
Maybe a 15-minute walk.
Do I need to cross any streets?
When you cross a street, it simply means to walk from one side of the road to the other. You step off the curb, walk across the asphalt, and step onto the curb on the other side. Easy!
Yes, you crossing 2 big roads. Be careful of the cars.
We're almost done with our Anna's helpful directions. For you crossing 2 big roads, it would be better to say, you'll cross 2 big roads, or you need to cross 2 big roads. And instead of be careful the cars, a more natural warning would be careful of the cars, or just watch out for cars. So Anna could have said, yes, you'll cross 2 big roads. Be careful of the cars.
Do I need to cross any streets?
Yes, you'll cross 2 big roads. Be careful of the cars.
Thanks a lot for your help.
You're welcome. You traveling fun.
Let's wrap up with our Anna's final words. You welcome is a classic. It should be you're welcome, which is a shorter way of saying you are welcome. And for you traveling fun, while the sentiment is lovely, a more natural English phrase would be have a good trip or have a fun trip. So, Anna's polite goodbye could be you're welcome, have a good trip.
Thanks a lot for your help.
You're welcome. Have a good trip.
And there you have it, a complete breakdown of asking for and giving directions, with lots of natural phrases and common corrections. Now, for a super effective way to practice, we're going to do some shadowing. If you're new to shadowing, it's where you listen to a native speaker and try to repeat what they say almost simultaneously, mimicking their rhythm and intonation. It's fantastic for fluency. Here's how we'll do it. You first listen to the entire conversation, without subtitles. Just focus on how the conversation flows and try to get the overall meaning. Then you'll hear the conversation again, but this time with English subtitles to help you understand clearly. After each sentence, please repeat aloud. Try to match the speaker's pronunciation and rhythm. Finally, we'll play each line in the conversation one more time. Again, listen carefully. Pay attention to the pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm before repeating after each line. You'll speak naturally, just like a native speaker, in no time.
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the train station?
Yes, go straight, then you'll see 2 roads on your left. Take the second road.
Sorry, did you say turn left?
Yes, on the left after the big supermarket.
Got it. Is it far from here?
Maybe a 15-minute walk.
Do I need to cross any streets?
Yes, you'll cross 2 big roads. Be careful of the cars.
Thanks a lot for your help.
You're welcome. Have a good trip.
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the train station?
Yes, go straight, then you'll see two roads on your left. Take the second road.
Sorry, did you say turn left?
Yes, on the left after the big supermarket.
Got it. Is it far from here?
Maybe a 15-minute walk.
Do I need to cross any streets?
Yes, you'll cross two big roads. Be careful of the cars.
Thanks a lot for your help.
You're welcome. Have a good trip.
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the train station? Excuse me. Excuse me. Could you tell me? Could you tell me how to get to the train station? The train station? Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the train station?
Yes, go straight, then you'll see two roads on your left. Take the second road. Yes, go straight. Yes, go straight.
Then you'll see two roads. Then you'll see two roads on your left. On your left.
Take the second road. Take the second road. Yes, go straight, then you'll see two roads on your left. Take the second road.
Sorry, did you say turn left?
Sorry. Sorry. Did you say turn left? Did you say turn left?
Sorry, did you say turn left?
Yes, on the left after the big supermarket. Yes, on the left. Yes, on the left after the big supermarket. After the big supermarket. Yes, on the left after the big supermarket.
Got it. Is it far from here? Got it. Got it. Is it far from here? Is it far from here? Got it. Is it far from here?
Maybe a 15-minute walk. Maybe a 15-minute walk.
Do I need to cross any streets? Do I need to cross any streets? Cross any streets? Do I need to cross any streets?
Yes, you'll cross two big roads. Be careful of the cars. Yes, you'll cross two big roads. Yes, you'll cross two big roads. Be careful of the cars. Be careful of the cars. Yes, you'll cross two big roads. Be careful of the cars.
Thanks a lot for your help. Thanks a lot for your help.
You're welcome. Have a good trip. You're welcome. You're welcome. Have a good trip. Have a good trip. You're welcome. Have a good trip.
How did that feel? Don't worry if it was tricky at first. The more you practice shadowing, the more natural these phrases will become. You can rewatch this section as many times as you like to keep practicing. If you enjoyed this practice session, give us a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next lesson. Let us know in the comments if you found this helpful and what other English situations you'd like to practice. Thanks for watching and happy learning. See you next time.